Too much octopus. Too much octopus. Bring it less. Less octopus. There, that's the appropriate amount of octopus. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Murphy. I'm one half of the brothers Murph, and this is You Can Solo That? You Can Solo That is a segment where I go through the various games in our collection that you can solo, try out the solo variants, and then review them for you. And today I'm trying out a wonderful game, a game called Ex LIbris. This is a game all about building your own library. It's a very cool, kind of weird theme, because there's not very many themes about categorizing and alphabetizing books. But this is one. And you're in a cool fantasy setting where like all the different libraries, like your personal library is different from everyone else's and you have a special power. And it could be like you're like a gnome who has one, or you're like some big cyborg thing who has a library. There's one in the woods with Sasquatch. It's very, very cool. And frankly, all of the different libraries in this game I really wish existed, because there's like one inside an igloo and then also one inside a volcano, and I think that's awesome for a book place. But theme aside, the game is very, very good. It's a very tough, thinky game, way more thinky than it's gonna seem in the beginning when you start playing. You're like, oh, it'll be fine, and it ends up being pretty tough and pretty a lot kind of going on. And it's a great game. And then I found out it had a solo variant, and I was like, ooh, a solo variant. Ooh, this character makes me think of like a sexy librarian, right? I love books. Ooh. Now I'm going down the sexy librarian path in my mind. Oh, hey, how you doing, library woman? What's up? Look at you all bookish. Bet you got a wild side, huh? Whip those glasses off, take your hair down, get all crazy. No, we're not doing this bit, Nick. We're not. This bit is stupid, outdated, and sexist. It really is. Yeah, you're totally right. All right, good call. Also, what the hell? This is not how sexy librarians dress. Even if I was okay with this bit, which I'm not, I still wouldn't be okay with it, because what is this wardrobe? Yeah, I don't know. That's all we had. We had nothing else. See, I look like an old-ass pedophile who invented like a new kind of Velcro, became a billionaire, but then lost all his hair, so trying to make up for it with this hot garbage. That's true, you do look like that. You really suck at this acting thing, don't you? Yeah. Well, go on, go back to the intro. I'm done with this hot garbage. I'm done with it. All right, gotcha. Crap. Yeah, that stereotype is stupid. Let's stop it. Let's just end it right now. But enough about all that. We want to check out this solo game. So we're going to go through, find out what's different about the solo game. I'll show you all that. We're going to come right on back here. Couldn't see my hand, so I had to do it on down. We're going to come right back here, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the solo game. So let's do it. Let's open them books. Let's get some reading on, and let's play some solo library stuff. Alright, this is Ex LIbris Solo. My hands gotta do all the energy because you can't see my stupid face. Bow. So like all my You Can Solo That playthrough parts, I am not explaining the entire game. I'm just explaining the differences between the normal game and a solo game. I'm assuming you already know how to play the normal game, or that you can watch someone else's thing to find out how to play the normal game, because there's a billion other people who will do that part for me. So in this game, you still have your own library, but you're playing against the public library. That's like the AI kind of character. You're playing against the evil public library, because we're about capitalism and our personal private library here, trying to make all the money, because everyone knows there's money in libraries. So you're going against the public library, and then this is the general setup for the game. Now we're going to go through bit by bit and figure out how we set this whole thing up, so let's do it. So the first thing you need to do is get the scorecard. The scorecard is this big, beautiful board like here, and it has two sides. One is the official library inspection form B7C, and the other side is the official librarian license application S42A. This is the side you need. Entire side is just for the solo game. The other side here is for the multiplayer game. So make sure this is handy for the end of the game, and it's on the S42A side, and you got a little dry erase marker to go along with it. So next thing you want to do is prepare the locations. Locations all look like this, and they have this back here. In the top left corner here, once my camera focuses, you'll see a little gnome. Look at that guy right there. That guy right there is on all the locations that can be soloed. And so you take the 10 locations that can be soloed with this little gnome here, take the rest, throw them back in the box. You're going to take these 10 locations, you're going to give them a shuffle, and then you're going to draw out 6 of them to put on the board here. And they will hang out over the side a little bit, but just draw 6 at random. 5 and 6. Boom. And then put the rest up here near the board because they will be drawn later on in the game. So once all your locations are out here on the board, you need to choose which library is going to be yours. Now, just like the locations, certain libraries can be used to solo. So they all have the generic library on the back, and you can always solo with the generic library. And then if you look right here on all the libraries, there'll be a little gnome again. And that shows that all of these can be soloed. So what you can do is you can choose 2 of them and choose from there, or you can just choose from the whole stack or just shuffle them up and get one randomly. We'll go ahead and take this one, which is the Garden of Education. And then you're going to grab 3 normal meeples and then the special meeple of your color. You're going to grab 1 more meeple than you do in a multiplayer game because you're the only one playing. So get this, put it down here on the board, and get ready to start your library all fancy like. So now you're going to give everybody and everything its focus. There are these 6 category cards here, and there are corrupted codices, historical volumes, monster manuals, fantastical fictions, spells and potions, and reference text. These are the different kind of categories of books that are in Ex Libris. You're going to give them a shuffle, shuffle, shuff, and then just like in a normal game, you're going to put 1 on the prominent works spot, 1 on the banned book spot, but then you're going to give 1, without looking at it, to the library, the public library, and this is the public library's focus. You're going to give 1 to yourself. This time we got monster manuals. You're going to put it next to your library in your focus spot, and then without looking at the last 2 categories, you're going to put them right beneath the library's focus here, and you will get to look at those later on in the game, and I'll explain that when we come to it. Now, the last thing you have to do is set up your books for your shelf. We have a whole big old stack of Ex Libris book cards that look all like that with books all over them. So you're going to do is give that whole thing a big shuffy shuff, and then you're going to give yourself 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is going to be your starting hand. And you can put these either in your hand or down beneath your library. That's where I generally like to put them. And then go ahead and take the rest of them and just put them somewhere nearby, somewhere where you can reach them and then discard them pretty easily. And that is the end of the setup, and now we are ready to start the game. So the preparation phase at the beginning of the game is where you're going to decide how difficult you want this game of Solo Ex Libris to be. Now again, you're playing against the public library. So the public library is kind of disheveled and crazy and stuff, but they have a ton of books. That's the whole thing. So at the beginning of the preparation phase, the number 1 thing you're going to do is discard a certain amount of cards based off the difficulty. At the end of the game, the entire discard pile is going to be the public library. So you have your own library, but then the public library is everything that's been discarded in the entire game. So they're going to have like 50 cards. So again, how you judge the difficulty is when you discard more cards, that makes the game harder. So if you want to play a beginner level game, you discard 1 card at the beginning of every preparation phase. If you want to play an easy game, you do 2 cards. Challenging is 3 cards. Difficult is 4 cards. Very difficult is 5 cards, nigh impossible is 6 cards, and then impossible is 7 cards. And you know what? Respect for having an impossible level. I like that. So let's say we're doing a challenging game. That means at the beginning of every single preparation phase, we're just going to randomly discard 3 cards off the top. That's backwards. So is that one. So let's do that for OCD's sake. So you're automatically just going to discard 3 cards. You don't do anything else with them. You just discard them, and now this is part of the public library. And then you do the rest of the preparation phase per normal. So in this situation, the bookseller would get 4 cards dealt right there, and then the mystery shack would get 4 cards dealt face down right here. You set up all the rest of the locations if they have anything you need to set up, and then you're good with the preparation stage. So every single subsequent preparation stage, you're going to discard 3 cards at this level of difficulty. And a solo game of Ex Libris takes place over 5 rounds. So you're going to discard these 3 cards at the very beginning of the preparation stage for the whole 5 rounds, and then that's the end of the game. There's also a special part of the preparation phase that only happens at the beginning of the 2nd and the 4th rounds. You're going to reveal one of the 2 cards you put here that's a library focus. Now you do this because you know the prominent works, you know the banned books, you know your own focus, but you don't know the public library's focus. And so at the beginning of the 2nd round, you get to reveal one. At the beginning of the 4th round, you get to reveal the other, which at that point, through your amazing powers of deduction, you will have learned that the public library focus is, in this case, spells and potions, because you want to try to deny getting the public library its focus as much as you possibly can. So throughout the game, you're going to be able to deduce what the public library's focus is. But again, that only takes place in the 2nd and the 4th round. So now we're on to phase 2, which is the worker placement phase. Now the worker placement phase is where you're going to take your little workers, your 3 normal workers and your 1 specialized worker, and place them on the various locations out on the board, as well as you can place them on your home library location here. All this works exactly the same. The only difference is you cannot have 2 of your workers in the same spot, no matter what. There are certain things that allow you to take workers back from different spots, and then you can go there again if you want to, but you can't ever have 2 people in the same spot because, you know, rules and such. So now we're on to phase 3, which is the resolution phase. The resolution phase, which takes place exactly like it does in a normal game. If you put your worker on a green spot like this with this little lightning bolt, it happens right away. But if you put it on a red spot with this little timepiece thingy right here, focus, boom. Then that would happen right now, just like it does in a normal game. And now we're on to the 4th and final phase, which is the cleanup phase, which works pretty similarly, but with some small differences to a normal game. So first thing first, go ahead and grab all your workers, bring them back to your library here. Go ahead and discard any cards that were not used and put them in the public library discard pile. So again, all those become the public library for endgame scoring for the public library at the end of the game, hence endgame scoring, redundancy. And then what you're going to do is you're going to choose 2 locations out here to eliminate from the game. So you get to choose. It's not randomized. So I'm going to get rid of the garbage dump and this wishing well out of the game. And then remember those 4 locations that are left over that we put aside? We draw the top one of those and we add it over here to the board. So we have 1 new location. But as you can see, there's only 5 locations instead of 6 now. So in every round, you have less and less and less locations to go to until at the very, very end of the game, you are only going to have 2 locations left at the end of the game, and that's it. So as the game goes on, your actions and what you can do starts limiting and limiting and limiting, and it makes it really excruciating. And then after that, you set up with the preparation stage, go ahead and discarding 3 new cards and doing all the other stuff for the locations, drawing 3 cards for this right here. And then you continue with the game, and the game keeps going around and around and around for 5 whole rounds. And then at the end of the 5th round, we do end game scoring, which is different, and we'll do it right now. All right, it's the end of the game. Our libraries have fought it out. Public library versus my library. So the first thing you do at the very end of the game is any cards you have left over in your hand that you did not get to put in your library, you immediately discard and put into the public library. Now you can see our libraries look pretty different. Mine is nice and uniform and rectangular if I can, and theirs is just stacked up. Because in a public library, 1, they don't care about alphabetization, because why would they? It's a public library. And then 2, they don't care about shelf stability, because it's the public library. They expect people to die. So now is when we bring back our official librarian license application S42A. So the first thing you do is make sure to write your name up top, and we have the public library right here. So the first thing we do is we check alphabetical order. Yep, mine is in alphabetical order. Theirs is non-applicable because, again, no one cares about the public library being in alphabetical order. And alphabetical order works in the exact same way. You have to be in alphabetical order and then numerical order, just like in a normal game. And then go through and write how many of each different book you have in all those different kinds of categories. And that's why we just stack the public library like this, because all we need to do is be able to see the symbols up top so we can quickly count boom, 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 and see how many different of each category they have. So then we go ahead and do all the last minute scoring. So the first is Survey Shelf Stability Bonus. Again, it says NA for the public library because we don't care if their shelves are stable. It's a public library. Public libraries are actually great. So I'm going to go ahead, it's still the same thing. You're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because it's just whatever your biggest square or rectangle is. That's a nice stable shelf. And then we just bestow the Prominent Works Award. So the Prominent Works Award is right here with reference text. Now in a normal game, first, second, and third place all get points. But in a solo game, it's first or nothing. There is no second or third place prize. So we go here and check. They have more reference text than I do, so they're going to get 15 points. I get 0. And then assign banned books penalties. The banned books in this situation was our historic volume. So I'm going to get -9. They're going to get -18. And then assess categorical variety bonus. So whatever their lowest amount and my lowest amount in category, we're going to get ×3. So my lowest is 5, so I'm going to get 15 points. Their lowest is 17, and that's pretty normal. That's going to be 51 points. And then this reveal and score library focus. My library focus was monster manuals. I only got 5 because apparently I suck at this game. I wasn't actually playing. Joke's on you. And then theirs is also spells and potions, which they get 17, so it's ×2. So that's going to be 30. Oops, not 38, 34. Idiot. Boom. And then we calculate the final score off screen. And we see here 28-82. Yeah, they won. They won. It's very hard. Ex Libris Solo. So that was Ex Libris. So, how was it? It was good. I really, really like this solo game right here. It is good. Yeah, this is one I've actually played a number of times. Sometimes I play them enough to get enough for this review that I'm like, cool, never have to play that again. This is one I've actually sought out a few times. It's really, really good. It plays enough like the normal game to make it feel like the normal game, but then it's different enough where it feels like a new experience. And this kind of brings up a point that I want to talk about very briefly, which is I love games like this, where you can tell the designer put in thought to the solo game. It's not just like, oh yeah, you can tweak this little thing and then you can play it solo and just try and beat your biggest score, cool, whatever, donezo. This one has a whole new rule set. It's a couple pages long that shows like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. You can change the difficulty. You can, you have to do, the locations work totally differently. The public library works totally different than if you're playing against another person. And it's very, very interesting and it works really, really well. Everything is clean and easy to understand. If you've played the game before, it's really, really easy to pick up the solo version. And it's great. I also love that there's varying difficulties of it. That's wonderful. And there's like 7 of them. They go all the way to straight up impossible. Just can't do it. Not going to be done. Try it if you want to. I like that. That's fun because you can start very easy and go very, very, very difficult. I have not beaten this past easy. There's beginner, easy, and then challenging. I've tried on challenging a few times. Have not beat it. It is hard. Even on easy, it is hard because you are constantly having to discard stuff to the public library. So all the stuff that's on the locations you have to discard out. So the library has like 3 or 4 times as many books as you. And even though with the scoring, the library does not get shelf stability bonuses, which you do, so you're like, oh, I'm getting points that they're not going to get at all. Even then, it's so hard. And a lot of times in every single one of my games, I've been really, really good at not getting any of the banned books. At the most, I think I've ever had in a solo game is like 3 or 4. And there's times I've given them like 30 or 40 of the banned books. So they have a minus 40 in their score, and I have like a minus 2 in my score. And most times they still win. That's how hard it is to beat the public library on like easy and challenging. I can't imagine doing it on difficult or nigh impossible. Like, are you kidding me? No way. It's so hard. But I like that. I like hard solo games. Overall, I'm going to keep this short. The game is wonderful. It's outstanding. It's beautiful. I love Ex Libris. You all know that. But the solo game is solid. So if you like solo gaming and this seems cool, pick this up. It is wonderful. A wonderful solo game. One that I am seeking out fairly often to play on my own. And that's kind of a rarity for me. And so please check it out. Let me know if you like the solo version down in the comments. So that is going to be it for me, and you can solo that. Please like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. And please check out all the other stuff that we have done on this channel. And check out our Twitch, because that is where we stream games like Ex Libris. So until next time, my name is Nick Murphy. I am part of the Brothers Murph, and this is You Can Solo That? Because you can, Ex Libris. Awkward outro.
Be honest. Do you think you're quick enough and possess the dexterity to snatch a bird out of the air mid-flight? These are the things I wonder about. While you're thinking about that, check out Restoration Games. They sponsor us, and we have information for where to find them and their great games in the description below. That's probably quick enough. Click over here, by the way.